here is singer-songwriter, broadcaster, audio-video artist, entertainment agent, and your host for the Dharmic Evolution. It's the master storyteller himself, James Kevin O'Connor.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Dharmic Evolution. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Okay, we're out on the West Coast, the left coast today, and we're going to visit with this amazing guy. You know, he just does it all. He goes into tiny clubs, he goes to intimate theaters, he goes to energetic blues clubs, he goes from the smallest to the largest. He was the opening musical performer for author Maryanne Williamson and has been described as a music guru who makes us think by the Life Changes Network BBS. Thousands of fans are mesmerized when they attend his live shows and absorb his soulful music into their hearts and minds. So you better strap up your seatbelts, because we're going for a ride with Raspin Stuwart.
Are you a singer-songwriter, author, speaker, or thought leader? Have you been looking for a platform for your career? Well, the James O'Connor Agency has exactly what you are looking for. Find out how we write and produce big, amazing songs on Music Row for authors, speakers, thought leaders, and organizations like non-profit and corporations. We also help singer-songwriters and artists by giving them a platform on Dharmic Evolution, a podcast designed specifically to broadcast your global career, now in 71 countries and with more than 161 episodes of artists all over the world from all genres. We know how to reach your target audience. Are you a dreamer like James? Then reach out today to James at thejamesoconnораgency.com and find out how we can help your global career.
Raspin, it's so good to have you on the Dharmic Evolution. Welcome, my friend.
Well, thank you so much. It's great to be on your show today.
Yeah.
I read a lot about you. You're famous.
No, hardly. I got a whole bunch of things to dig in with you about. And, you know, I was so happy that Cynthia Brando introduced us because, man, you have been just crushing it for so many years and doing so many great things with your music, and the style and the imagination that has gone into your work is just second to none. So if I had a hat on, it would be off to you, my friend.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you very much.
So listen, how did it start for you, music? I mean, you've been doing it for a while now, and you kind of grew up probably with the 70s and all of the wonderful things that happened way, way back in the day. And you've seen so much happen in the music evolution. Can you take us to like the starting point for you, that what influenced and inspired you to get connected to music in the first place?
A guitar. That's kind of what did it. I was given a guitar at like the age of 13, 14. And the first song I learned was by Peter, Paul, and Mary, which was Blowing in the Wind.
Right.
And it was 3 chords. And ever since then, I started writing songs. I kind of made them up as like I went along. And I just kept writing and writing and writing. And the 70s were a very big part of 70s, early 80s, I think, kind of that whole Joni Mitchell, Jim Croce, Cat Stevens kind of thing. That was my kind of cup of tea. A little bit of the Doors and things like that.
There was some amazing music created back then, and I always was kind of blown away by the fact that, you know, nothing had really been done back then. It was just such a fresh canvas of, you know, we're going to take like really stripped down like bass guitar and drums and just go into the studio. And there was so much of that happening where, you know, it was just so new and just such a breath of fresh air that all of these things started to take off. And it was just artist after artist came out that was just such a joy to listen to.
And then it kind of became like bunnies. We kept growing and growing and growing. I mean, think about all the artists today and the platforms that they have to expose their music.
Yeah, and that's what's so fascinating. It's because, we have all these platforms and we have so many decades now of wonderful music. And I always, I'm always thankful that I'm here to witness this, because there is still really great music being created. And you're a testament to that with all the things that you're doing. And, it's always, there's always room for another great song and another great artist, no matter how many we have. It's like raindrops. You could, when they're good, you could just never get enough. It's like we'll find room for them.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. You can always tell when the magical song hits you. Like when you hear an artist, and you go, "Wow, that song touched my soul," and things like that.
Yeah. Speaking of touch my soul, let's give everybody a taste. What do you say, Raspin? And we're gonna play "Smoke the Hookah." Here we go.
All right.
Out so innocently, we learn to take what we need. Forgive us for our creed. Let's dance. Let's smoke the hookah and dance. Let's smoke the hookah and dance. Rome wasn't built in no day. Time stands still for no one, they say. Yes, you pass the same way. Dance. We smoke the hookah and dance. We smoke the hookah and dance. Confucius, great prophecy. Fall now to their need. Their palms bleed. Dance. We smoke the hookah and dance. We smoke the hookah and dance. But in a time of man-made disease, my friends fall like leaves from the trees. Now there's only frozen streams. Dance now. Why don't you dance now? Who gets up and dance now? We smoke the hookah and dance. It's black, it's white, it's hot, it's dry. Show me a minority who hasn't suffered or cried. Living in a land where freedom calls. Dance! We smoke the hookah and dance. We smoke the hookah and dance. But in a land of poverty, the hungry feed off of their dreams, waiting for the world to turn. Dance! We smoke the hookah and dance. We smoke the hookah and dance. Get up! Stand up! They are your rights. You got to fight for your rights. They got to fight so peacefully. Unite people, eliminate war. You are the key to every door. You hear the lies, you see the truth. Dance! We smoke the hookah and dance. We smoke the hookah and dance. We smoke the hookah and dance. That's all. We start to dance so innocently. We start to dance so innocently. Get up, get up. We smoke the hookah and we dance.
There we go, man. Smoke the hookah. What a vibe and what a setup. I mean, just the it was very, especially at the end, it was so ethereal and beautiful sounding. So, what possessed you to cut that track? And can you take us into the studio on that? That was really wonderful.
Yeah, I can. That song evolved. It's an older song, and it's actually, first I'm going to talk about the song itself, because to me the song is really, it's a prayer, and it talks about the repression of all the people in the world and how we rise above, and nothing can keep us down, nothing, because of love. And the hookah is, to me, is a pipe that is like a peace pipe of life that everyone shares. So that kind of, starting at that base, everyone thinks it's about marijuana or pot or hashes, but it's not. It can be if you want it to be, I guess, but it's really about, it's a political song.
Okay.
And it's got kind of a happy beat, I would say. But the song, that version of it, was recorded by Steve Reed and Bo Astrup. And Steve Reed was with the Rippingtons, and he played percussion for Supertramp and stuff, a bunch of great people. And I went in and I cut my guitar. And that's the first track I've ever done where it has mostly not real musicians on it. It's like, I call it an EDM track, I guess.
Yeah.
It has like my acoustic guitar, a bass, and my vocals, and lots of background vocals, and then a couple little percussion instruments, but mostly it's all electronic. So that was my first kind of electronic song that I've ever done. And it was kind of cool. I mean, it doesn't really have a vibe of electronic sound, but it was all done kind of without a lot of musicians.
That never occurred to me, that it was an EDM, because it just, you have a touch of, you have that touch that people can just feel and touch your music, and it touches them, and it's just so real and so viable. Great job on that too. And yeah, the hookah thing, I've been to, I think once or twice I was in a lounge like that, and it wasn't, I said, what am I smoking here? What is this? And it was more of an event, more of a social event than anything else. It was almost like getting together with, a couple guys and hanging and having a cigar. It was that type of thing,
Right. You can talk about whatever you want and talk about life. And I actually, enjoy talking about spirituality and self-awakening and bettering oneself and divine order. But in the last year, it seems like everyone seems to be talking politics. So I've turned the TV off in the last month, and I'm going back to spirituality. It's much better. It's more positive, and it keeps us uplifted. And I think when you come from love, I think that's all you really need.
Yeah, I'm with you, my friend. I gave up I think it was almost a year before the election. I just stopped. I told people on Facebook, please don't post anything political, because it just felt so divisive to me that I just couldn't take it. And then I'd come back and I'd step in and I'd try to make a comment about something somewhere, and it would be like, I'm in a big fight with somebody about, and this is like taking away all my positive energy that I'm a writer. I'm supposed to be, and a broadcaster. I'm supposed to be doing things that are positive for people, not defending this side or that side and getting into a war. So it got out of hand, and there was a lot of silliness and a lot of unnecessary kind of evil stuff going on, So I think we're better if most of us, if we can avoid those traps and do like you do, is just, take a break for a while and just reclaim your life and find out what it is that you do that someone can appreciate,
Right.
And speaking of appreciate,
go ahead.
I want to just ask you about this awesome thing that you have done called the Great Los Angeles Cover-Up.
That was something I did, and I'm bringing back, actually. It was a thing where we collected coats, blankets, socks, and we gave them to the homeless. well, I gave them to shelters downtown.
Fabulous.
And that was years and years ago, and I'm bringing that back.
Oh, that is awesome.
That's my cause is homeless. Actually, homeless, old people and children.
Yeah. Fabulous. That's just great. I mean, I kind of wanted to go into that just because, I have a place in my heart for the same thing, missions and places like that. And, every once in a while I'll put up a post about, I discovered a while ago that the most needed thing in shelters is socks. And I never knew that. And I put up some posts on Instagram and so forth and said, next time you're at Walmart, just get an extra, couple bags of socks. You can buy them for really inexpensive, but they're little tiny things that I think if we just, draw attention to people, that many can do much more than just a few. So if everybody does just a little bit, it's about compassion, I think, for people. Yeah, it really is. Yeah. Hey, let me ask you about what's going on with you lately. You're a really, really busy guy. I can, see by all the things that go on with you, the gigging and the performances and creating records for so many years. Are you playing out like in the LA area? Are you playing out regionally, or are you recording? Like, where is Raspin in his career right now, this week of October? Well, this week of October, I committed to a deadline of January 2019 for my new CD, New York to LA. And I've been diligently, really focused on recording this record. And I've been recording it for 2 years because that's how long it's taken. Yeah. And in between, I perform. So I have like 3 songs to complete, and it'll be done. And I'm really pleased with it. It kind of took a turn maybe 3 songs ago when it started with a song called Reelin', which was a country kind of blues song. I love that song. And then I cut another song that turned out country. I love country. Uh-huh. And it's a ballad, and it's called You. And it's got pedal steel on it, and it's very cool. And then I actually cut another song for fun called Lukenbach, Texas, by I think Waylon Jennings made it a hit with Willie Nelson, and it's going to have a couple country songs on it, which my CDs never had country songs, but I do love country. And I think I look good in a country cowboy hat. That's funny because you are. I don't see you as being ever a country artist. You're too Raspin. I mean, you've got your own thing going on, but you can turn anything into what it is that you do. So I really commend you for pouring your heart and soul into being so stylized, because that's what I think people love about you the most. I mean, I'm just getting to know you, just since Cynthia introduced us, but there's very few people like you that are so stylized and so the real deal, And speaking of that, I've been told. Huh? What was that? That's what I've been told. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and so why don't we just give everybody a taste? This is Reelin'. Here we go.
Crazy for your love, ooh, that Saturday evening, walking down the street long without a feeling. I've been passing up the bars, I've been howling at the stars. Talking, working every day in a daze, crying but I'm trying just to get myself to Saturday. passing up the bar. I've been howling at the star. Now I'm in love, and it's got me weak in love. Love got me weak in love. Right from the start, you stole my heart. Well, it was meant to be. But a woman like you, a man like me, crazy, crazy in love will be. I went crazy for your love. Ooh, last Saturday evening. Walking down the street, Lord, what I've been feeling. Passing up the bar, howling at the stars. I'm in love, got me in love. Love got me in love. Love got me in love.
All right, so that was Reelin'. So now that was in the studio, right?
They're all in the studio.
I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, there was a lot
That
of
was all live. Everything I do is, let's say not everything, 95% of what I do is live without a click track, which means
really no click.
no click.
Bless your
That
heart.
That one has a click in it.
Okay.
But I would say out of the 12 songs that are going to be on this record, 10 of them have no clicks. And 5 of them are the main vocal that I put down when I cut the track.
So you did the whole thing live, essentially. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then I overdub. I do like a lot of the record I did with, bass, guitar, and my other guitar player. And that was our rhythm section because we have a real tight rhythm section. And from there, I would overdub percussion, like on King of Fools. I overdubbed a viola, and I didn't play it. And then keyboards, and then horns and things like that. Because I also kind of am known to be a blues singer, and a jazz singer.
Yes, all of it.
So, yeah, and that's like, I don't even know. I just sing them. I don't know what I'm doing. I seriously, I just sing them.
Right.
I get up in front of people, and I just do my thing.
Yeah, that's fabulous. And, for you guys to go in and just, be able to just go in and say no click track. I mean, you're playing with real musicians, the real deal. And it's because that's what you do on stage, pretty much every night. I mean, some bands do have the drummer throw down a click and he has it in his headset. But I think most of, the accomplished players who really, have their act together just, you're playing live. So it's like, it's a live thing, you want to stay away from all those things.
And everything comes with me, everything comes from within. When I step on stage, something happens and something takes me over, and I have no idea sometimes what I'm saying to people. I'll say to people, I'll go, sometimes I'll be like in the middle of a conversation and I'll just stop and I'll say, so fill in the blanks or whatever you think it's going to be. And then I'll bounce into another song. But from when I start a song to when I finish it, I become that song. And I think that's important for me, is to become the song.
Yeah.
And the character of the song.
That's what I was just about to say. Is you create the character for that song. So am I correct in assuming that you let the song direct you on where to go and where to take it? Do you follow that path? Or is
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And like I'll rehearse with the band, and Chris Volok, who's been playing with me for years, he'll go, now this is just a rehearsal, because when you get on stage with Raspin, it can go anyway. It's like some people say, well, it's supposed to be 4 beats, but I might feel 6 beats, I might feel 6 measures.
Right.
And that's the way it goes.
So let me ask you, Raspin, how did you when like you've got again such a distinct style, and at some point there must have been this epiphany that occurred to you, like maybe in your younger years, that you said, I got my sound. But your sound is eclectic because you can become many people with your different voices. I mean, when we first started speaking, I said, "Is that really Raspin?" Because you've got a very gentle affect, and it's like it's not
right.
like the guy who's on that stage going,
Right.
"Whoa,"
Right.
So when did this happen for you that you said, "You know what? I found my style, or I'm on the edge of discovering who I am supposed to be"?
I think I still am.
Okay, it's a good answer.
But I think life evolves, and I think probably maybe 6 years ago when I really took the music serious. I mean, I've always taken the music serious, but but 6 years ago I really started full time at music, and I was playing like 5-6 nights a week. Well, not 6, 5 nights. It seemed like every night.
Yeah.
Around Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco. I even went to Portland, and that's kind of where I found, like, the first time I stepped on, I was petrified. I thought, oh my God, I can never perform, and I got on stage and I took to it like a fish takes to water. And I found that that's really where I'm most comfortable in life, is when I'm singing in front of people.
So this was only 5 or 6 years ago that you started with the live show?
I
mean, consistently.
I had a life before.
Okay.
I had a magazine. I had several magazines.
Right.
That I had for 32 years, and that kept me busy from about 9 in the morning till about 8 at night.
Yeah,
every night, and so I did pet projects, where I would produce artists. I produced CCH Pounder CD.
I saw that. That's amazing. I want to talk to you about that. So go ahead.
And then I decided I should record my stuff. So I recorded my stuff maybe 15 years ago.
Right.
And it sat in my garage for months, years actually, to be honest. And a friend of mine said, "Didn't you make a record or something? Could I have one?" And I gave it, and I opened a box of them up, and I had them in the house. And the next thing she says, "I sent your songs to a movie licensing place, and you got picked as best new artist for possible music licensing." And I thought, oh, that's good. And she goes, "But you don't sound too excited about it." And I said, "Well, Linda, I'm in the middle of deadline with this issue. So I am very excited. Trust me, I am very excited. But I've got a 64-page magazine to get out within a day and a half. So that's where my head is."
Yeah.
So that's where my head was for 32 years.
Wow.
And then another friend of mine heard my music, because I gave him my CD, and he goes, "You should give it to this person, and she works at Starbucks, but she should listen to it." So she listened to it, and she goes, "I'm going to give you the name of the person to send it to at Starbucks." And it's out of my hands. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, we tried. So I sent it to them, and they sent me an email back and said they loved the CD and asked me a little bit about it. And they licensed 3 songs from it and played it in Starbucks for a year. So that was cool.
Wow, that's very cool.
And that kind of like gave me it gave me a lot of validation that people liked the music. Because you never know.
Yeah.
As an artist. You never think about that. You just kind of do it. And so that was kind of the start of it. And then the performing came. And then about 2 years ago, I found internet radio. And I signed on to Twitter. And that just kind of blew up. I mean, I sent it to a radio station called KB Radio, and they started playing Smoke the Hookah. And it made it to number 1 in their indie charts. And then Fish Creek Radio picked it up. And then it seemed like it was being played in all over on the internet. And then I released Reelin', and now that's caught on. And I haven't, that's pretty much kind of where it just kind of rolls.
Yeah. So, so can I just interject? And I think, that as artists, I'm finding myself in some of your story. That's why I'm so captivated by this. But it's like we don't know where our audience is until we roll it out in front of them, and then people will come to you. It's like right. It's like you had this kind of like kept under wraps, sort of. Maybe not intentionally, but that's just the way it played out for you. Right. And now it's like you probably feel the blessing of when you put a smile on somebody's face with your music. There's nothing greater than that, because you touch them in a way that the very few on this planet get to reach somebody, and that's so important, I think.
Right. It is important. And I think that it's in every one of us, to touch people.
Yeah, whether you're an artist or you're a singer-songwriter, I also try to help authors, speakers, and thought leaders with their missions and their messages and their books and their experiences. So I think the more points of light that we can reach out and touch and connect together, there's kind of help that comes from all of that, But I think right now it's time to play Rumblin and Tumblin, baby. Here we go.
Catfish are jumping, it's an impossibility. Someone has been rumbling and tumbling in my backseat. You tell me lies and you hold me tight. We go rumbling, tumbling, rumbling, tumbling. Through the night, book us a taxi. Wow. What do? I don't know, baby. I sold my new car, still got no revenue. So sorry, sure. Somebody loves you, but who knows who? Why we go rumbling, tumbling, rumbling, tumbling. Rumbling, tumbling, rumbling, tumbling. Rumbling, tumbling, rumbling, tumbling. Through the night. Whatever gets you through the night. From neoclassic to the Berlin Wall. Cities crumble, legends will fall. And lost and lonely without a trace, you go rumbling, tumbling, rumbling, tumbling. Set. Oh, rumbling, tumbling, rumbling, tumbling. What's it say? Rumbling, tumbling, rumbling, tumbling. What gets you through the night? Whatever
Yeah, I just love rumbling and tumbling, don't you? Having a fabulous time with Raspin, getting right back to the interview with Raspin right after this.
Have you connected with your gratitude today? I think I have something that will help inspire you. It's the brand new release from James Kevin O'Connor. Gratitude, recorded on Music Row in Nashville, Tennessee with producer Kim Copeland and team, is James' third full-length album in 4 years. 10 amazing songs, each one a different story about the emotions, journeys and experiences that you and I have lived. Songs like Dreamer, Jesus Teaches, Tango On and 51 Shades of Grey, and of course, title track, Gratitude. Pick up the brand new CD today with amazing artwork and photography at iTunes, CD Baby and Amazon. Or simply go to jameskevinoconnor.com for your download right now. Send someone that you love a copy of Gratitude today. It might be exactly what they need in their life right now. Gratitude, the new release by James Kevin O'Connor.
So that was Rumblin and Tumblin, and that's another really good one. So you were talking about how that you got some traction on this, Raspin. This was like the next one that came out, and then all of a sudden people were just saying, "Whoa, what is this?" People are loving it. Obviously, isn't that a euphoric feeling that you're not only accepted, but you're appreciated for the tremendous work and effort that goes into this occupation, which is called singer-songwriting.
Right. No, it's awesome when people love your music or like your music, or I think anything in life is when you get acknowledgement and encouragement for it. It's a good thing, and I think people should be more encouraging to people, no matter what they do.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm into the thing where everything is important. Every person is important. Every thought is important. And people need encouragement.
Yeah, and we all have value, and it's like, one of my missions is with this show is to try to help the people, especially a lot of the really younger ones who are coming up and they're trying to find their sea legs and their foundation, and they just need to know that they have value, and just, if you're meant to do this, if you're meant to be in music, just keep going, just keep, toughing it out, and if that's the place you belong, you'll be very, very happy that you stayed the course, because so many great things will happen to you. Hey, I wanted to ask you, who was playing the great slide playing on Reelin'? That was really good, and also the backup singer, the lady who's on that. That
is Teresa James. And she's a great blues singer.
Yeah,
awesome.
Really
awesome.
Loved her voice with yours. It was great.
Yeah, she's on this new ballad called "You," and she was like, "Oh, this is a great song," and it's a beautiful song. It's about it's a love ballad, and I don't usually. I do. I have about 4 love ballads that I have, and 3 of them are going to be on this. She's singing on that, and Ed Tree did the slide guitar.
Oh, okay, great. I mean, it fits so well, the song. It was just really awesome. Hey, can you talk to us a little bit about favorite place to record for you? Do you have a favorite studio? Do you go to different studios all the time, or how does it and team, like as far as other musicians and maybe some production people, how does your whole team work?
I have bounced from studios depending on where the musician is, because you want to make it as easy for the musician. But this record actually has been recorded in 5 to 6 different studios. It started at ES Audio in Burbank, then went to Swan Sound, then it's at Treehouse now. And I bounce back to Swan Song. I'm at all of them for different things. Oh, that's great. For tracking, a band, you need a bigger room. But yes, and what I find with the same thing with the stage. The stage is my temple.
Right.
And I have to be comfortable you have to be comfortable wherever you are if you want to give it 150%. So when you're recording, you want to make sure that you're recording with people that you're comfortable with, that bring out the best in you.
Yeah.
And you bring out the best in them. And that all ideas are allowed. This is my number one rule. All ideas are allowed when you're creating something.
Yeah.
Because you never know what it may spring to the next idea.
Right.
So that's kind of how I approach recording. And the players that I work with I'll have to tell you, are like, wow, you played on this record? You played on, wow. And it's like, I've met a lot of new musicians on this record. I'm impressed with a lot of them, but the one that comes to mind, which I just recorded with, he's a great player.
So do you seem like you have an open door policy? Like when you have guys come in and they're musicians who are to be respected, and they have their unbelievable resumes of all that they've done. So you use, like, listen, I'm not going to write your bass parts for you. I'm not going to write all your charts out for you and tell you exactly what to play. You just let them, like, interpret the song.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But since I'm so melody, I like to tell people to follow the melody.
Yeah.
Because the melody is very important of a song. And that's pretty much it. And then they can do their thing. And if it doesn't work, we say, did that work? And they'll say yes. Everyone, you can hear when something works.
Yeah. And
so, but it just kind of falls into divine order, and it all just kind of works.
Yeah. It's an amazing experience, you know. I mean, I've been in ones where everybody in the room said, yeah, that was great. And I'm just shaking my head saying, no, the drums are wrong. And I don't know. I don't know what is right yet, but just give me a few minutes. And you get to it, you know, you get it, you get it sussed out, because when you're playing with good people, it's just amazing what can happen. Hey, tell me about social media. Are you a big social media buff? Are you sick of it? Are you?
Well,
I'm
not
on it?
sick of it. I'm on. Remember, I've only been on social media for 2 years, so I'm not sick of it.
Okay, great.
And I have to tell you something. Social media has introduced me to more people than most things.
Yeah.
You know, I love social media. I love Twitter, and I just found Instagram.
Okay, great.
So I've been tweeting Instagram things.
I'll be hitting you up, my friend.
Tweeting it. I've been Instagramming things. Facebook is okay for my personal use.
Yeah.
Because I find that whenever I give somebody, I say, like me on Facebook, I have a fan page, Raspin, and then I have a personal page, Raspin Stuwart. But as I did with all my businesses, it's like everything intertwines, you know. So my Raspin Stuwart page is basically music. My Raspin page is basically music. My Twitter page is basically music, and my Instagram is music. And every once in a while, no, I don't really do personal stuff on Twitter because it's not set up that way for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of limited, but the advantage, I think, it's fast. You know, it's like, you know, say your statement and move on, and, you know, go on to the next thing. So
right.
In that respect, I think it's kind of it has an advantage over the others. But I find that Instagram is hands down the musician and artist's platform to be. I mean, almost every single person I've ever had on this show, 187-8 shows, has all said the same thing. Instagram is there, and I'm finding more and more people using it for retail now too, like selling shirts or wine or whatever it is, you know. And there's something about the immediacy of the platform, I think, that's good. Hey, how about we do? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. It wasn't.
King of Fools is right up. I want to hear King of Fools, shall we?
All right.
Here we go.
On and on, the story goes. Hypnotized, the truth lies within the third eye. And look both ways before you cross the street. Petrified, and now who's the king of fools? And now, who's the king of fools? Gandhi, Buddha, Jesus Christ. My God, what if they lied? Love one another, it's death to others. How it's justified, no rhyme or reason, but you keep believing in these religious rules, while history paints the bitter truth. And history paints the bitter truth. Left, it's right beside you. Life's just a banquet, why not taste it? So many chances could be wasted. Life's just a tango, why not dance it? Who's the king of fools? And now, who's the king of fools? So on and on, the story goes. The world seems to be so terrified. An eye for an eye, you will all be blind. The wise men have cried. Who be the sinner? Who be the savior? Who did cast that first stone? And the last breath you'll take alone. Look to the left, it's right beside you. Life's just a banquet, why not taste it? So many chances could be wasted. Life's just a tango, why not dance it? Who's the king of?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Look to the left, it's right beside you. Life's just a banquet, why not taste it? So many chances could be wasted. Life's just a tango, why not dance it? Who's the king of fools?
King of Fools. And, you know, I love that. It's kind of, to me, it's like an Otmar Liebert stylized type of intro on the guitar. Really beautiful. I just love that.
Yeah, that's Chris Volok. He played that. That's what's kind of interesting with Chris, is that he plays a classical guitar, and mixed with my percussive I play my guitar like a percussive instrument, like a drum. I think I should have been a drummer.
Yeah.
Somebody says, your timing is great. And it's like, well, it's kind of what makes everything. It's timing.
Yeah. It fits your
So,
style, though. I mean, it fits right in there. It's awesome.
Yeah. So he brought that classical, which people think is very interesting because I'm playing this kind of, chunky guitar, and he's playing a beautiful classical line over it.
Yeah.
And it works.
It's a great production. I love that song. Hey, I want to ask you about. I may be firing these questions quick because I know we're going to run out of.
I like questions.
We're going to need like 5 interviews, I think, to get through all of you. But when you were growing up, like, give me some of your favorite artists, bands, or singers, and it doesn't matter which. Like, who influenced you in such a way that you were just like, I got to do this. I got this guitar in my hand. And who were you listening to that kind of really had an impact on you, whether it's,
Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah.
Santana, Abraxas album.
Oh.
I love that. Yeah. Joni Mitchell. I love Joni Mitchell.
Yeah.
Carly Simon. Cat Stevens. Harry Chapin was one of my favorite artists. I love his productions. His stories are great. Pretty much Boss Skaggs.
Yeah.
I love Boss Skaggs. Bruce Springsteen. Who else was out? I mean, just that whole late Donovan. Donovan came later.
Yeah.
And actually, I do a cover of Donovan's, The Hurdy-Gurdy Man.
Yes, I checked it out last night. Great job.
Yeah.
Great job.
So Steve Reed and Bo Astor produced that also, that same kind of at the same time Hookah was done.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, but I love that song. So, and I just started a cover of A Case of You by Joni Mitchell.
Oh, okay, great.
I love that song. So I do 3 covers. I do Hurdy-Gurdy Man, Case of You, and now Lukenbach, Texas.
Nice. So you were a bit eclectic. Like you just embraced anything that was good, a good song and a good artist.
Well, this is the way I look at it. And Chris will say, let's do this song. And I'll go, no. It's like the song has to find me. All my songs that I write, they find me.
Yeah.
I can't sit down and write a song. I have to just wait for it to come, and then it just comes right out. Like King of Fools, that's a pretty heavy song.
Yeah.
And that took years to write. I wrote most of it and put it away. And then 6 years ago, it just kind of came to me, and I just, boom, I finished it in that weekend that I was working on it. That was kind of cool. And it's people, they'll always scream out. They'll do the tango song, which I guess it's got a tango vibe to it.
Yeah.
But it's called King of Fools. Or they'll scream out Hookah. Because Hookah, when I do it with just my acoustic guitar, can be very intense. Because I get just into the songs, and it's like when I go, when I go unite people, eliminate war, it's like I like belt it out, like I'm serious when I say it
to
people. So it's all good. I love music.
Yeah. You mentioned Joni Mitchell, who's a favorite of mine, and she, I'm big on alternate tuning. I love it. I'm into, Michael Hedges and people like that with fingerstyle guitarists. I love all that stuff. So I started getting into that years ago and discovered that she had, she's the queen of alternate tuning. I think she has 52. Last they checked, 52 different alternate tunings.
Wow,
and the reason she did it was she had polio as a child and couldn't turn the strings. She didn't have the strength. So she lowered the strings and got into like, well, this is easier to play for me, But she was an incredible musician. So Raspin, this has gone so quickly. Give me your words of wisdom to people out there, what would you like to say to the 71 countries that we're in? And a lot of these countries we've been hitting number ones in the last couple of months, actually. So the show is getting traction. And I'm really, really delighted because we can bring artists like you to the world, not just here in the States, but everywhere. Oh, it's a pleasure. And so I just want you to give your parting words of wisdom and also connect us with the best place that people can go to support you, find out about you, purchase your music, and check out your videos. I know you're on YouTube. So if you just share with that, with all of us that on our goodbye here.
I say be kind to people, be compassionate to people, understanding, and love along the way. That's all you have to do. And I think your life will blossom.
Amazing.
So where can you find me? I love SoundCloud. I know I'm supposed to be saying Spotify, but I actually find SoundCloud very easy. I like to, if you want to buy my music, you can go to CD Baby. And my website is raspin.com. And I have a new Indigo campaign running right now for this new record. So if you'd like to check that out. Indiegogo, it's called, I think. And pretty much that's about all I have to say.
Awesome. Raspin Stuwart, I tell you, it was a pleasure to have you on the Dharmic Evolution, my friend. Just want to wish you all the luck and success moving forward in your career and all God's blessings on you.
Thank you very much. Same to you. And thank you for having me. You're just a wonderful host and person.
Smoke the hookah. Reelin'. Rumblin and Tumblin, and King of Fools. The great Los Angeles cover-up, it's coming back. Richie Havens, CCH Pounder, just a couple of people, stellar people, who recognize the brilliance of Raspin. Don't forget, New York to LA, coming up in 2019, very exciting. Go to raspin.com, follow him on social media. He's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and probably a handful of others. We'll find them all and put them in the show notes for you. If you have not yet gone over to the Dharmic Evolution Facebook community page, what are you waiting for? Get over there, post your new video, your new song. If you've got a gig, you got some new photos, or if you just want to support another artist, please do so. We welcome everything indie. Also, authors, speakers, and thought leaders are welcome as well. You got a new book? You have a new white paper? Do you have a new bad habit? Share it with us. We'd love to hear about it. Also, go over to dharmicevolution.com. You can fill out your assets and drop them in at the guest tab if you are a singer-songwriter, if you're an author, speaker, thought leader. This is what we do. We help you guys. So come on. 71 countries are waiting to hear from you. That's it for me today. I'm your host for the Dharmic Evolution, James Kevin O'Connor, singer, songwriter, audio, video artist, master storyteller, and international talent agent. So until the next time when we meet again, I'll either see you on the socials or I'll see you from the stage.